Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome from a relatively sunny afternoon on the Isle of Man. This video will be a brief review of my midweight adventures motorcycle, which is this beautiful Honda FX650 Vigor. The bike in its original looks doesn't look anything like this. This particular one, which I managed to find at the beginning of last year in the UK mainland, has had the front CRF 250 upside down fork conversion. Also, it's had a very nice paint job done by one of the previous owners, and it also has a uprated rear Haygon shock absorber, which has a rebound and compression adjustment. Now, what made me purchase this motorbike is that it was in a way the natural evolution from my Honda CE Fly 125, which I was learning, and then I passed my big motorbike test. They're very similar in design, and they're very similar in looks, although this Honda is a lot bigger and more powerful. What made me want this bike is mainly the lovely blue metallic paint, also the big single-cylinder RFVC engine, which is renowned to be very, very reliable, very simple to repair if you have a breakdown on a long journey, say across multiple continents, which maybe hopefully one day I'll be able to do on this motorcycle. And of course the extra travel from the CRF front fork conversion and the 21-inch front wheel, of which the bike originally had a 19-inch front wheel. Other modification that this bike has had is the custom bush guard that I fabricated for the engine. And also I have modified the rear suspension link to be able to lift the rear end and match the ride height to the front forks. Apart from that, it's had the smog kit deleted and just a good maintenance, basically, because it was in a very appalling state when I purchased it. So what made me desire such a old and basic motorbike is to have the ability to repair it myself on the long trips if it does break down. Also the weight, which is around 165 kilograms dry, and of course being a Honda and being very, very reliable, as they're quite renowned for that. I can probably show you a bit more detailed view of the bike, so you can get an idea what is it all about. Let's have a look. Please excuse the background noise. I do live on a fairly busy road close to the TT course. And being the late afternoon on the end of January, it's quite busy with regular traffic. So what makes me believe this is from a CRF 250 is that, if you can see here, there's a stamp that says MXW03, which, from someone that's quite into enduro bikes, I've been told that there was a business called MX World in the UK, and they used to do a lot of motocross bike suspension, so that was kind of a hint for that. Also the spacing for the front caliper is I believe 110 millimeters, which is what it was for the older CRF motorbikes. At the moment I'm running front twin duro Continental tire, which seems pretty good for going at not very challenging off-road tracks. And at the rear I'm running Mitas 009 tire, which has very good reviews, and it's renowned to last very well for prolonged periods of time. Although, because this bike has quite high torque figures, it's probably one of the few bikes that has more torque than horsepower. I believe it's 55 Newton meters of torque, and it's around 40 horsepower, maybe just under. But it does feel very punchy and torquey once you get above 3,500 RPM. So it does go through back tires, or at least on my riding style, quite a lot. You probably might wonder, what does the R stand for? It is it means restricted, and on the law states that for 1 year after you've passed your test, you do display this R badge, and you're not allowed to ride above 50 miles an hour. Although there's a lot of roads over here which are unrestricted. And once you've done a year from passing your test, you can then remove it and go as fast as you like on the restricted roads. Okay, so I did get the bike from mainline Lucchese. I had to pass the local so-called MOT and then get it re-registered on the Isle of Man number plates. For that I had to do quite a bit of work, as I mentioned, because it was in a poor state. Since that time I've upgraded the front sprocket to a Super Pinion sprocket, which, for whoever knows about this bike, they tend to have a very little engagement on the output shaft from the gearbox with the original sprockets, and because of the high torque they do wear the shaft and the sprockets quite severely. So this sprocket is a lot wider, and it has a full engagement on the shaft, so minimizes that wear, if not fully eliminating it. Also I've upped the size of the sprocket from 14 to 15. Another thing I did do is I've installed the Trailtech Endurance 2 speedo, because the speedo the bike had originally was a GPS based one, so it didn't have a distance, only was showing the current speed, so that was no good, considering the bike only has a fairly small 14-liter tank. Another thing is the upgraded Renthal Dakar style high-rise handlebars, also Acerbis bush guards. Other things uprated front disc, because the bike came originally with a 240mm disc from the CRF, which was very insufficient on stopping power. So I believe this one's 260mm disc, so it's significantly better. Still not brilliant. Another thing I have done is I've fitted the Zeta wide pegs, which gives you a lot more control when you're going off-road. And another thing I've done is I fitted a slightly smaller rear sprocket, I believe by 1 tooth smaller than the original, so 42 teeth I believe at the moment. Originally these bikes come with a 43 tooth sprocket, although this bike had a 45, so it was very short geared, very kind of off-road based gearing, and it was really not able to keep up for normal road use, and it was very high revving, so that wasn't very good. Apart from that, just yeah, trying to stay on top with the maintenance and just look after the bike and keep it in good shape. So for whoever is looking for a fairly lightweight motorbike that is easy to maintain, hasn't got any electronics or electronic aids as most modern bikes have, as you all know, like ABS traction control, this is probably a good alternative. I know the Honda XRs are still available for sale in the US, but obviously because the emission laws are quite stricter in Europe, that is not a viable option unless someone can find a way to import one from the US and get it registered somehow in their country and go around the emission situation. So I hope that video was any help to anyone that's looking to get a relatively lightweight, capable adventure bike. And please write some comments, and I'll be happy to reply and help if I can. Thank you very much for watching.